Ready to elevate your colored pencil art and master the most challenging aspect of animal portraits? This tutorial will guide you through the process of coloring realistic fur texture. Learn the technique to create depth, light, and dimension that will make your animal drawings truly stand out and impress. And if you're new here, I'm Lisa Marie. Welcome to my art studio. I've been a professional artist for over a decade, have a master's in art history, and like many artists, I'm socially awkward but love talking about art techniques and art tools. First, you create captivating fur with the right tools. Today, I'm mostly using Pan Pastels, Prismacolor pencils, and all on Ohuhu mixed media paper, and then I'll top it off with a Flymax ink pen. So, Pan Pastels are quick and easy pastels that come in compact cases. They blend together easily, and they play very well with colored pencils. So, why do I use Pan Pastels first? First, there's the soft, smooth coverage. Pan Pastels apply like paint, but with the control of a pastel. They're perfect for laying down a soft base tone quickly. And there's no wax buildup. Unlike pencils, Pan Pastels don't fill the tooth of the paper, leaving plenty of texture for colored pencil layers next. Also, there's subtle gradients. You can easily blend Pan Pastels to create smooth transitions in fur underlayers. This is ideal for areas like shadows, highlights, and color shifts. Next, I use colored pencils. Colored pencils bring a special kind of magic to coloring fur by allowing artists to build texture, depth, and realism through layering and blending. Prismacolor pencils are ideal for fur because they have a soft, wax-based core. Prismacolors have a creamy texture that allows for smooth layering and blending. This is perfect for building up the soft, gradual tones found in fur. They have rich pigmentation, so their vibrant colors help capture the subtle variations in fur from highlights to shadows. And they're excellent for fine detail. Despite their softness, they can be sharpened to a fine point for drawing individual hairs and intricate textures. There are benefits to this combination. Working with Pan Pastels and colored pencils can really speed up workflow. Pan Pastels cover large areas quickly, which saves time. Also, it enhances realism. The soft base mimics the undercoat of fur, while pencils add the sharp detail. And it's flexible with corrections. You can erase or adjust Pan Pastels easily before committing to pencil detail. Also, heavier paper makes a difference. It's all about durability. Heavier paper, like the Ohuhu mixed media paper I'm using today, can withstand multiple layers and pressure without tearing or warping. Then there's the tooth or texture. The slight texture of heavier paper grips the pigment better, allowing for more controlled layering and realistic fur effects. Then there's also the blending support. It handles blending tools like blending pencils way better. Then it helps with the smooth transitions while maintaining depth. And don't worry, I'll put links to all the art supplies I'm using in this video description if you want to add them to your art studio. Alright, now let's talk about technique. First, there's layering the foundation with an underpainting. So first, I block in base colors. I apply the Pan Pastels with soft tools to lay down the general color zones, the light, the midtone, and the shadow areas of the fur. And I blend softly. You can use a soft sponge tool or blending brush. Even an eyeshadow applicator will work because they're gentle enough to smooth transitions and create soft, realistic bases of color. This also preserves paper tooth. So you really don't want to push down too hard, but this will also avoid overblending or applying too much pastel too soon. This keeps the paper's texture intact for pencil layers later. Next, add a layer of colored pencil for fur detail. Start with light pressure and short directional strokes that follow the natural flow of the fur. Use a sharp pencil to draw individual hairs, gradually building up layers. You can vary color slightly to add realism. Fur isn't just one flat tone. The way you move your hand matters. For short fur, move your hands to apply the color in short lines or dashes of color. If the fur is longer or wavy, I would move my hand to apply the color in longer flowing lines of color. Also, remember to add depth and highlights. So use darker pencils to deepen shadows and define fur clumps, if there are any, or ripples in the fur too. Add lighter tones or even a white pencil for highlights and shine. You can use a colorless blender or solvent sparingly to soften transitions without losing texture, but mostly I like to use lighter colored color pencils or a white color pencil. Remember, you can always go back and keep adding layers of color in the colored pencil as long as you don't press down too hard too soon. Now, let's talk about fur directions. Fur direction plays a crucial role in realism because it reflects how fur naturally grows and flows across an animal's body. Ignoring or misrepresenting this can make even the most detailed artwork look really flat or super unnatural. Fur direction defines form and structure. Fur follows the contours of the body. It goes around muscles, around joints, around bones. There's correct direction, which helps convey the three-dimensional shape of the animal, making it look lifelike. Fur direction adds movement and expression. Directional strokes can suggest motion, like wind blowing through the fur or the way an animal is turning. It adds energy and emotion to the piece also, especially with dynamic poses. Also, fur direction enhances texture and depth. Layering strokes in the right direction creates the illusion of softness, coarseness, or fluffiness. It helps separate areas of fur, like the mane from the body or the tail from the legs, by showing how each section grows differently. And it guides lighting and shadows. Fur direction affects how light hits the surface. Highlights and shadows follow the fur's flow. This is key for realistic lighting, especially in detailed or dramatic scenes. Okay, now let's talk about building depth with layering and shadow play. So creating shadows and highlights in fur using color pencils over Pan Pastels is essential for adding dimension, realism, and depth. Use Pan Pastels for soft shadow bases. You can apply darker tones like deep browns or grays or muted blues in areas where fur recedes or overlaps. Then blend gently to avoid harsh edges. This mimics the soft underlayer of fur. Next, you can refine and block your shadows with colored pencils. Layer darker pencil strokes in the direction of fur growth. Use varied pressure to deepen shadows gradually. Add cooler tones like indigo blue or dark violet to enrich shadow areas without making them muddy. Don't use pure black. Mix dark colors to keep shadows dynamic and natural. Pure black flattens the whole thing. Next, create highlights. Highlights bring out the shine and texture of fur, especially in well-lit areas. Preserve light areas in the Pan Pastel stage by leaving some areas lighter when blocking in base colors. You can also use soft yellows, creams, or light grays to suggest illuminated fur. You can also enhance then with colored pencils. Use a white or light colored pencil to draw fine hairs, in the highlighted zones. Apply with light pressure and short tapered strokes. Layer over midtones to create kind of a glowing effect. Also, you can add sparkle and contrast. So use a sharp pencil to add a few bright strands where light hits most strongly. Consider using a white gel pen or wax pencil for fine touches. Because the fur on this dog is mostly white, I am going all in and also using the Flymax white paint marker. This is a serious burst of white that I wouldn't use so much on other furs. Usually I would use this only for the brightest highlights, but this particular dog has white fur, so I'm using the white marker to lighten the whole thing. However, the same principles apply. Apply in the same direction as the fur flows, and keep in mind the highlights and shadows so you don't lose that contrast between dark and light. Drawing realistic fur is a rewarding but challenging process, and there are several common pitfalls that can undermine the whole final result. Some people ignore fur direction. That's drawing fur with random or inconsistent strokes of color. Always study your reference and lightly sketch the direction of fur growth before adding color. Fur flows with the contours of the body. Respecting this adds realism and structure. Next, some people use heavy pressure way too early with their color. Pressing hard with colored pencils and early layers flattens the paper's tooth and limits your layering potential. Start with light pressure and build up gradually. This preserves the surface texture and allows for more depth and detail later on. Then there's overblending or overworking. Excessive blending, especially if you use solvents or blending pencils, can make the fur look smudged or blurry. Blend selectively. Keep some areas crisp to maintain the texture of individual hairs. Use blending to soften transitions, not erase the detail. There's also flat color choices. Using only one or two colors for fur makes it look dull and kind of unrealistic. Fur is made up of many subtle tones. Use a variety of hues, even unexpected ones like blues, purples, or oranges, to add richness and depth. Also, there's lack of value and contrast. Fur without strong lights and darks looks flat. Push your values. Deepen shadows and brighten highlights to create dimension. Use a grayscale filter on any reference image that you're looking at to really value ranges and study them. Okay, let's recap. To color realistic fur, it helps to have the right tools that play well together. Block in your colors gently. Then slowly layer more colors on top. Remember to draw the color in strokes that go with the flow of the fur growth pattern. And build depth by emphasizing shadows and highlights. And that's it for today. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. And as always, stay creative.